All right, everybody, today we're looking at my 11 greatest musicals of all time. And why not 10? Because I didn't have the heart to cut any of these out. Let's hit it. Okay, everybody, to make it on this list, you had to be purely a musical. This couldn't be a motion picture that just had musical numbers dumped into it. That was basically like a regular flick with just little things kind of thrown in every now and so often. Or else movies like Fame or All That Jazz would have made it in here easily. Also, it had to be live action. It couldn't be like puppets. It couldn't be animation. It couldn't be that, kind of thing. Or else, I would have had Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas in here. Just saying. So this is strictly musicals, real people, kicking it out. Let's hit it. All right, everybody. We are looking at 1977's Pete's Dragon. Oh my God, everybody loved this as a kid. Come on, it was on every Sunday night in rotation every now and so often. You know what I'm talking about? You remember how it used to be back in the day. Disney Channel would have that whole Sunday night thing, and they would throw these movies in there, and you've seen Pete's Dragon all the time. It had Helen Reddy, had Mickey Rooney, Shelley Winters, Red Buttons. It was classic, and it was awesome. Actually, I just seen Helen Reddy a couple years ago in concert on like her goodbye tour or something like that, and she sounded as good now as she did then. So, Pete's Dragon, don't knock it, number 11 on that list. Let's keep going. Okay, everybody, 1968's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You heard me, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Legendary. Awesome. If you didn't love it, there was something wrong with you. It had a flying car, it had Dick Van Dyke, it had Benny Hill, for God's sakes. And if you didn't walk around singing, ha, ho, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you, there was something wrong with you back then. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, all-time classic. Watch it, check it out. For the love of God, if you got kids, make sure that they've seen it. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Man, that shit was awesome. All right, let's keep going. Okay, number 9. Man, this shit was the bomb. Bugsy Malone. Who didn't love Bugsy Malone? A movie about a bunch of kids and they're gangsters and they're living in the Chicago existence at Fat Sam's Grand Slam, and they're singing these incredible songs. They're shooting at each other with splooge guns and driving Model T Fords with little pedal cars and stuff. Bugsy Malone was the shit. You had Scott Baio, Jodie Foster, and music by Paul Williams that was off the hook. The sound, it was just good all the way around. If you haven't seen Bugsy Malone, go check out Bugsy Malone. If you haven't seen Bugsy Malone in 40 years, go check it out again. Bugsy Malone on the list, always will be. Let's keep going. Okay, people, number 8. You knew it had to be here. You knew it was coming. 1978's Grease. Legendary. Legendary. If you put that shit on, you're going to remember half the words to all those songs. Don't you deny it. Had some great stuff written by the Bee Gees, and it had some incredible musical performances, but we know that movie was carried really by 2 characters. It was carried by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. And let me just say, John Travolta, for not being a singer really, did an incredible job carrying his weight next to somebody like Olivia Newton-John, who is a singer, and a damn good singer. So the two of them together did a wicked job in this wicked movie that everybody loved, Grease, 1978. Go check it out. Gangs, high schools, hot rods, music, can't go wrong. Next. All right, everybody, 1986's Little Shop of Horrors. Who does not love this motion picture? Ellen Green, Rick Moranis. If you haven't had Suddenly Seymour running around your head at one point or another, there's something wrong with you. And come on. Steve Martin in the Son Be a Dentist song. This movie was great from top to bottom. The directing was great. The atmosphere was great. The singing was great by a bunch of people that really aren't singers. This thing was amazing. Go back, look it up, Little Shop of Horrors. If you're my age, you know it. If you're younger than me, you probably still know it. And if you're that young that you haven't seen it, you make me sick. Go out and look it up. Little Shop of Horrors. Next. All right, everybody, 1978's The Wiz. Come on, man. I was 8 years old when I was in the theater seeing that motion picture, and it rocked. And, I mean, you're talking about Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, Diana Ross. I mean, you couldn't beat this thing. And as a kid that was like an inner city kid, seeing the Scarecrow, and he's like in this place where it looked like the Bronx, where the buildings had fallen in, and it was just a dump. It was like so cool and so relatable. It was kind of dark. It was kind of twisted. It was a little bit odd, but it was fan-friggin-tastic. Go check out The Wiz. You gotta love it. Just the vibe, the atmosphere, everything about that movie was spot on. The Wiz will never be left off any list of mine. Okay, everybody. Okay. Number 5, 1975's Rocky Horror Picture Show. Come on, dude. If you haven't time warped, you haven't lived. If you haven't caught this thing at some kind of a midnight revival, Halloween festival, whatever, you got to get your ass out there and do it. This motion picture was fun. It rocked. The music was great. It was so campy and so goddamn weird. You had to love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You didn't just have Susan Sarandon. You didn't just have Barry Bostwick. You didn't just have Meatloaf. But you had the man that made this motion picture what it was. Let's face it, folks. Without him, this movie wouldn't make it. This is Tim Curry. Tim Curry, just a sweet transvestite from Transsexualvania, Transylvania, actually. He knocked it out the park in this movie, man. This thing was awesome. Go out, check Rocky Horror Pictures. They used to always have it like on MTV every year on Halloween and shit, but now MTV sucks and they don't show anything. But you can find it on DVD, demand, or whatever everybody's doing these days. Whatever. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Awesome shit. Next. All right, everybody. All right. Moment of silence. This is some revered territory. 1939's The Wizard of Oz. Come on. You knew the real one had to be here, the originator. If you didn't dig The Wizard of Oz, there was something wrong with you. When we were kids, we used to wait once a year. Remember back then when stuff would be on like once a year and you had to be home to catch it, or you missed it until the following year? This was the bomb back in the day. You waited for The Wizard of Oz. You knew it was coming. You circled it on your calendar and you got your ass in the house. You know, Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, all that kind of shit, flying monkeys, witches, whatever the hell was going on. It was legendary. It was great. It was filmed so beautifully. One of the true classics from yesteryear, The Wizard of Oz. If you don't watch this like at least every couple years these days, like around Thanksgiving or Christmas, oh, you're missing out, man. You're missing out. Wizard of Oz, legendary. Let's keep going. Okay, people, we're hitting hollowed ground now. We're hitting my top 3. We're hitting my top 3. And there's nowhere to go when you hit your top 3. But 3 movies that could easily change places. 3 movies that could easily get swapped around from one position to another. But right now, we're kicking it off. Number 3, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That's right, folks. This masterpiece from 1971 will always have a place in my heart. Gene Wilder nailed it. Banged it out the park. I don't care who the hell they have play Willy Wonka after this, especially Johnny Depp. Willy Wonka will always be Gene Wilder. He was so perfect in this movie. He had that right amount of twistedness, the right amount of glee, the right amount of mystery. The songs were great. The sets were great. Everything was great about this motion picture. I cannot tell you how much I love this thing. It's one of the all-time classics of cinema, and if you haven't seen the original Willy Wonka, you're like some young person who struggled by this site and just found this shit by accident. Get out there and see the real Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Undisputed, best thing ever. Well, wait, then why did it make it as number 3? Well, it could have been number 1. It doesn't matter. Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder. Enough said. Let's keep going. All right, everybody, here we go. Here we go. Number 2. Jesus Christ Superstar. I am telling you right here, right now, this is one of my all-time favorites, one of my all-time classics. I love this motion picture. The music, the subject, everything about it. I have walked around the house belting out from the top of my lungs, Judas's parts, Jesus parts, it doesn't matter. All the music by Weber and Rice are just, it's just amazing. The performances are great. Ted Neely, who's still playing Jesus Christ out in the theaters to this day at like 7 trillion years old, he can still hit those high notes. Go look up Ted Neely to this day doing the role on YouTube. He can still bang it out the park. The man is amazing. He always sounds great. He's old, but you don't care. He's still nailing it out. Ted Neely, Carl Anderson, Yvonne Elliman, they were all amazing in this motion picture, plus all the other cast of characters that were in there and everybody that did their parts. Jesus Christ Superstar is just one of the best musicals ever made, in my opinion. I love it. I will always love it. I will always cherish it. Kicking away. Okay, I know I'm going to catch shit for this. I know I'm going to catch some shit for this. I don't care. To me, my favorite musical of all time. It can lift me up when I'm feeling down. It can make me happy if I'm wearing a frown. The #1 musical in my list of all times, Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton. Oh yeah, I'm fucking going there. This movie just brings joy to my heart no matter how many times I see it. You got some amazing music. Of course, it's the Beatles. What more do you want? But you've got some amazing performances. You got Peter Frampton. You got the Bee Gees. You got Earth, Wind and Fire. You got Aerosmith. You got Alice Cooper. You got Steve Martin. What the hell more do you want? This motion picture can make you smile on the saddest and rainiest of days. It will make you chuckle when you're leaving work in a bad mood. I can watch it over and over and over and over again, and it never gets tiring. I have actually the double album on vinyl of this thing. I should have brought it here for a prop, but I didn't. Who cares? It doesn't matter. This motion picture, for me, will always be my holy grail of musicals. I love it. I sing it. I praise it. People goof on it. Some don't like it. They can kiss my ass. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Period. All right, people. Peace out. Take care of each other. Love one another. Be good. Stay out of trouble. Bye.